The flower garden. Sania and Rohan had moved into a new house. It was a nice house. It had a garden at the back. But the garden was not so nice. It was full of thorny bushes and wild grass. There were no trees or flowers. I wish the garden had some flowers, said Sania. Why don't you make a garden of flowers here? Asked Daddy. Rohan and Sania were happy. Yes, we would plant a garden of flowers, they said. The next day, Rohan and Sania looked at a book on flowers. Let's make a list of flowers to put in the garden, said Rohan. Sania wanted the rose in the garden. Rose was a beautiful flower. It smelled nice. There was a pink rose, a yellow rose, a white rose, and an orange rose too. Let's plant a rose of every color, said Rohan. He put rose down in his list. Next, Rohan spotted a tall yellow flower in the book. Sunflower, it said. Sunflower always looks at the sun in the sky, read Rohan. He put down sunflower in his list as well. Look at this flower, said Sania, pointing to a picture in the book. It was a bright orange flower with lots of petals. Hey, this is the flower we use during festivals, said Rohan. Marigold, read Sania. Let's plant marigold. We can use the flowers in Diwali, said Rohan. So, they put down marigold in their list as well. Look at this flower, said Rohan. Hibiscus. Hibiscus had 5 big petals and a tower in the center. That's the flower Ganpati Bappa likes, said Sania. So, they put down hibiscus in the list. I want a flower that is in bloom every day, said Sania. Then, let's plant some periwinkle, said Rohan. Periwinkle was a purple flower with 5 petals. It bloomed every day. So the 2 children put periwinkle down in their list. I want some flowers that smell very nice, said Sania. Look at this one, pointed Rohan. Frangipani. It is a big white flower that smells very nice. Frangipani sounded nice. They put it down in their list. What about those little white flowers Grandma puts in her hair? Oh yes, jasmine. Jasmine flowers were small and white. They grew on a long creeper. The two children put down jasmine in their list too. They now had many flowers on their list. Let's pick one last flower, said Rohan. A flower that is different. They saw a beautiful flower. It was floating on water. Lotus, said Sanya. This is such a lovely flower. Lotus was pink or white, and it was standing in the water. So Lotus went on their list too. The next day, they gave their list to Mali Kaka, the gardener. Mali Kaka worked hard in the garden every day. He cut away all the thorns and wild grass. He dug the soil and made flower beds. He made a small pond for the lotus. And one day he brought many saplings and planted them in the garden. Sanya and Rohan helped him as well. They watered the plants every day. Birds began to visit the garden and drank water from the pond. The plants grew, but there were still no flowers. And then on one day, there was the first flower in the garden. A red hibiscus was peeping from the leaves. The next day, jasmine flowers bloomed on the creeper. Their smell was everywhere. The rose was next to bloom. Red rose, pink rose, yellow rose, white rose, orange rose. A day later, the periwinkle plant grew small purple flowers. And there was a lotus in the pond too. It was pink and fresh. It seemed to be dancing on the water. A day later, the marigold flowers arrived. The bright orange flowers were hiding among the green leaves. One morning, Rohan saw two tall sunflowers looking at the sun. He ran out and his nose was filled with a beautiful smell. The Frangipani flowers had arrived at last. The white Frangipani had the best smell in the world. The whole garden was just full of colors and sweet smell. And it wasn't just Rohan, Sanya and their mummy and daddy who came to the garden every day. Beautiful birds came and chirped. Buzzing bees visited all the flowers. Butterflies flitted from leaf to leaf. It was the best place to be.